Hi everyone. So this is Bhuvan and this is my wife Brinda. I am an engineering manager with Bosch here in Coimbatore. Actually, first time when they said about GBP, genetic brain profiling and everything, and my wife was telling me about a session shared with Ms. Latha recently. I was very skeptic. I'm generally a skeptic, but I was even more skeptical about how something that originates at birth, like a fingerprint, could really predict or analyze behavior of a person throughout his or her lifetime. And my first instinct was to equate it with astrology and everything. And even when they came to take the fingerprints and everything, I was very skeptical. Come on, let's see and everything. But it has been really an enthralling and really entertaining, say, 6 hours today, where we had the profiles of my kid or our kid, my wife, and myself. And this was really very good because most of this is common knowledge. Hey, this is our kid. Where this is common knowledge, actually, most of us would have heard of things like MBTI and DISC and all this profiling. It's psychometric profiling, where psychometric profiling is more situation based and there's a chance for manipulation, self manipulation by ourselves. GBP is more like a never changing pattern because the fingerprints never or very rarely change in the course of a lifetime. And most of the results that we got during this time, I would not say it was surprising because though my wife and I, we are adults and we know to a very good extent who we are and what we are, it was still an eye-opener, and many of the results that got analyzed and predicted by this to a very good extent was a match about what we knew about ourselves during the course of our life and career. But there were quite a few interesting points we never thought we knew about ourselves, or what we thought we were or we were not. So this was a really eye-opening experience. But the real catch here, or the real interesting part, I would say, is the profile of our kid, because so far he is just 7 years old, and whatever the profile that was given to us, to a very good extent, that showed who he was till now. And more interestingly, it also gave sort of an extrapolation of where he would be in terms of his behavior as a person, as an adult, going forward. And interesting insights into what he could do well, where he needs, say, improvement or more handholding from our side, and how to and how not to basically do certain things. And many of these things look common sense, good parenting tips and everything, but to do it from the perspective of something that has a scientific background behind it, which is GBP, we are known worldwide today, that adds more authenticity to it. And the way actually Ms. Latha explained the topic and how she handled the entire thing, that I would say was the icing on the cake, because it was not just like a session where you read something out. It was more personal, I would say. It was personal, and also that was done in a very personal way. And this really, I would say, it's a new thing for us. Yeah, I am not anymore a skeptic. I still have my questions, but that was an interesting thing. I had quite a lot of questions during the session, which she tirelessly answered, and she will be answering much more as we proceed. So I would really like to thank her for the opportunity to really know about such a field that I never knew existed. And I would also recommend the parents of kids to try this out, and you don't lose much.
I think schools and colleges and workplaces should take this up, because it's a great tool to kind of really understand and accept the fact that people are unique. Everybody is unique in their own way, and you can't put everybody in the same platform and say this is what it is, this is what you need to do. So that way, it's a great guide, I feel, for parents and universities and maybe corporates in the near future. It will be a wonderful thing that can probably show a clear-cut path to a lot of people.
Which is why it's all the more surprising why it is already not a part of all the profiling and selection processes of corporates and colleges. And if only we had this when we were kids, probably our career in life would have taken a slightly different and definitely better turn into analyzing or understanding what our strengths and improvement areas are. better late than never, but I would really and very strongly recommend that both parents, corporates, and also educators really look into this aspect of profiling. It's not really profiling, but it's understanding the psychological profile and the behavioral profile of a kid as he or she grows up. So that's one wonderful thing, and thank you again for this opportunity.
Thank you so much.
To learn something new and to understand something better.